Recruiting, you should be getting pretty close to where you can just say, hey, I'll take it for a few minutes.
I have done that. I can take the control and drive it around a little bit. So I'm watching and learning on the job. Definitely the way to recruit, that's for sure.
All right, you talk about how this is one of the busiest times of year, getting ready for the bowl game. You're finishing off a recruiting class with a new signing period. You were out on the road this week. I understand you can't talk about names, but how do you feel it's gone this time around? This is number 2 for this whole routine.
We should be in pretty good shape to sign a full class, other than maybe 1 or 2. So if we pick up one within the next 4 or 5 days, we'd be close. If not, we might have a couple left, just based on how it all pans out. But our reception's been terrific. It looks like we're in decent shape.
Has it been easier to manage this time around, knowing kind of what the landscape's going to be?
Yes. It wasn't really an issue last year. I think there was just a lot of uncertainty because it was new. We weren't for sure how it was going to go. Now we kind of have a better feel for it. I think the recruits and their families and the high school coaches have a better feel for the process.
Eddie Sutton used to say he never knew how a team would come out of final exams. Of course, in basketball, you come out and play games immediately. How'd you feel about practice today, coming out of finals?
Average at best. They did okay. Their effort was good, enthusiasm good, but it's still somewhat intriguing to me how they can be off for 4 or 5 days, and it takes them a while to come back. But that's like the first day of school, and so on and so forth. So they'll get focused back. We'll work out again Sunday, and I think Monday, and maybe day off Tuesday. I can't remember, but they'll be fine.
How much closer are you to having, kind of at least blueprints for the game plan for Memphis and against Missouri?
Well, we've got the majority of the game plan done, but we're spring practicing half the practice, and the rest is game plan for Missouri.
Anything specific you're wanting to see out of them during these bowl practices?
Just basic fundamentals in all 3 phases. We have a special teams day once every 5 days. And then offense and defense is fundamentals, and we take 30 minutes or so and work on Missouri. But for the most part, we're getting a spring practice out of this, and our young players are getting a considerable amount of work.
Getting a greater chance to see Drew and Spencer in these practices, are you able to kind of sense how much they've developed since August?
They get better every week. They're getting more reps, considerable amount more than what they haven't gotten during the season, because we get 2 days to get ready for a game, and they seem to be doing fine. It's not as easy for them because they work with the second team line. They rotate in, and so those guys are all freshmen for the most part that haven't played, and so at times they make mistakes, but they seem to be picking up the system pretty well at this time.
I know I'm asking a lot of recruiting questions, but Patsy Armstrong, we saw her impact some in the spring and summer. Now that, official visits, going toward a signing day, what's her impact in recruiting?
Well, she's a great organizer and does a really good job of communicating with the families that come on our campus. And that's kind of rule number 1 in broadcasting.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that was before. When you went to school, they didn't have phones.
Yeah, and look who called. He's not even here.
He doesn't get it.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, she's been really good with the families and a good organizer, and brought a lot of information to us. They say a woman has a lot better feel for taking care of people than a man does, and I think there's some good points to what she's doing. She has a really good feel for the process, and we're lucky to have her.
What is the reaction when you show up in a helicopter at high school and step out of it?
Oh, it's a big hit. All the young people at the school like it, and it's pretty intriguing for them. And so it's a lot of fun, but it's certainly the easiest way to get around. And some of them want to ride in it, which we can't do that. But the journalism students at the school, they always come out and want to take pictures. So it's pretty cool for the students and the coaches at the schools.